Perhaps the beings we think of as aliens are not visitors from distant stars at all. They might be reflections of humanity's evolution far into the future. Across the deep currents of time, the human body may have changed, merging seamlessly with technology and drifting far from the form we recognize today. Muscular strength could have been replaced by the power of the mind, bodies growing more delicate yet more efficient, consciousness expanding within enormous skulls, capable of shaping the material world directly through thought. At this point, technology is no longer a tool. It is a natural extension of the mind. Machines are guided not by hands, but by the silent waves of thought. Perhaps the impossible maneuvers, gravity-defying movements, and silently gliding, unidentified craft are traces of such a civilization. And perhaps the most striking possibility, these beings may move not only through space but also through time. Technologies that approach or surpass light might allow them to bend the timeline and touch the past. Thus, a future that has returned to observe its own origins, our present, may have existed quietly throughout history. Ancient texts describe gods descending from the sky, figures appearing within light and fiery flying vehicles. Not divine entities, but the impressions of this unexplained technology on primitive minds. What could not be understood assumed a sacred or terrifying form, gradually transforming into myth. Why would they return? Perhaps the answer lies in the continuity of their own existence. A disruption in the past could erase their presence in the future. They may observe critical moments in history, perhaps making subtle, almost imperceptible interventions, altering the timing of a discovery, mitigating the impact of a disaster, or ensuring the survival of specific individuals. Yet there is a darker possibility. They may not merely observe, they could be the invisible architects of history itself. Humanity's great leaps may not be coincidences, but the result of delicate guidance. This thought calls into question everything we understand about free will. Their appearance raises further questions. Large eyes, slender bodies, minimal facial features. Perhaps this form is the natural outcome of a species that has long abandoned the physical world, evolving entirely toward the mental. What we call gray beings may be a possible distant future form of humanity. Even stranger, they may never have arrived. They were already here. Existing beyond the limits of our perception, their invisibility does not imply absence. It simply means we are not yet able to see them. If this is true, first contact is not a meeting but a realization. Humanity will not see something new in the cosmos. It will simply recognize what has always been there. Perhaps this explains why some historical events remain inexplicable. In 329 BCE, Alexander the Great abruptly ended his campaign in India. Official records cite the army's fatigue and logistical difficulties. Yet some ancient accounts say the army halted without orders, as if an unseen presence had settled into the air and forbade further progress. That night the sky was abnormal. Campfires failed to burn properly. Winds shifted and animals grew restless. Then certain units of the army observed a strange pattern of light in the sky, unlike anything seen before. It was neither a star nor a storm. It moved. It left traces. And most unsettling of all, it seemed to be watching them. The next day, Alexander's orders to advance were withdrawn. No explanation was recorded. History only notes that the army stopped. Yet, according to some, that night humanity first sensed the presence of another will. Centuries later, in 1912, the Titanic traversing the cold waters of the Atlantic seemed to collide with something more powerful than fate. Official accounts tell of an iceberg. Survivors, however, recall a different phenomenon, An eerie stillness on the water moments before the ship sank, engines halting at an unnatural moment, a pale light rising from below. Some dismissed it as a reflection. Others claimed to see a moving darkness beneath the vessel. For an instant, they said, time itself paused as if reality had shifted to another layer. Official explanations ignore these stories, but the accounts do not vanish, because the same trace appears again elsewhere, and its deepest echo is found in Antarctica. Beneath the world's quietest continent, radar reveals unnatural recurring geometries, straight lines, perfect angles, and immense voids. Ice is not merely a cover. The deep layer, known as the threshold zone, is neither land nor ocean. It seems a boundary where the laws of physics lose meaning. Invisible on maps and unresolved by satellites, this region suggests Antarctica is not just an end, but also a gateway, though not outward, inward. Beneath the ice lies not merely a structure, but a limit. Beyond it stretches a domain stranger than what humanity calls space, undefined where even physics fails, immeasurable and unnameable, as if the universe itself transforms into something else there. Some believe there is a connection between the sky where Alexander halted, the light beneath the Titanic, and Antarctica's silence. They are not from the same source nor the same entity. They are different faces of the same thing. That thing is not beneath Antarctica, it is beyond it. Humanity does not exist at the center of the world. The world itself is merely within its reach. Some call it the observer, others the first mind, yet the oldest term remains the same, the being beyond the threshold. And if Antarctica is a gateway, it has never been locked. Humanity simply has not yet realized which side it is on.